let's try to move on from craziness, and let's go to more craziness. Let's talk about Ukraine, Larry. Well, I don't know. Is there anything to talk about? Is there still Ukraine around?
It's disappearing more slowly every day. The Russians continue to advance steadily all along the northern and southern parts of the front, as well as in Kursk. They're enveloping the last of the remaining Ukrainian invaders. I think the body count of that's totaled up. Ukraine will have lost 25,000 troops. They didn't have 25,000 to lose. They need over 30,000 a month replacements, and they're not even able to get that.
Yeah, I remember those numbers. So, those numbers are like a year old already. It's old news. Those 30,000 a month, and they're losing 25,000 in I don't know, 2 months, perhaps one and a half.
No, over the last month. They've been losing casualties at the rate of 2,200 a day.
A day, yeah.
That's 60,000, 65,000 a month. You do that in 2 months, that's 130,000. Just keep extrapolating. It's a lot, and they're suffering very, very, very serious casualties. And the Western press is out with these lies that they're doing the same to Russia. No, they're not. Because for no other reason, Russia's firing 8 to 10 times as many artillery shells at Ukraine as Ukraine is firing at the Russians. Right away, you've got an 8 to 1, 10 to 1 advantage of Russian firepower, which means they're going to kill more Ukrainians than the Ukrainians are going to kill Russians. And I didn't begin to talk about the use of bombs, fabs, these bombs that are launched from a distance, and then they've got a targeting mechanism on it that helps them hone in on the target. That's killing a lot of Ukrainians. And then the drones. Russia has a decided advantage with the use of drones on the front. The drone warfare, the electronic warfare they brought out to counter drones, both Russia and Ukraine are using it. Russians have countered that with using fiber optic cable. In fact, there was just that one video from the other day. It showed this drone coming in, and a truck pulls out in front of it. It's got all the electronic gear on it, and the drone just goes around it, and then goes up and hits the tank that truck was trying to protect. So, the bottom line is Ukraine suffering catastrophic, devastating casualties. They have no way to recover.
This is a curiosity I have. How does this fiber optic system works? Is this really a fiber optic cable? I haven't.
Yeah.
Just cool.
Yeah, big ass spool of fiber optic. I mean, it's very, very thin.
Mm-hmm. And light. Fiber optics is very light.
It's like a wire. There are some anti-tank guided missiles that are, on a wire. Mm-hmm. Because when the whole thing spools out. It's not like it's 100 yards. I mean, it's got little miles of this cable. So whoever's making the fiber optic cable, well, they're making some money. That's where we want to invest.
Yeah, nowadays it's a very cheap subproduct, the fiber optics. Once upon a time, it was a extremely expensive thing. Nowadays, it's just, almost as cheap as a copper wire and lighter. I've dealt with fiber optics a couple of times in my life. It's very lighter. It's very lighter than not very lighter. Sorry, lighter than the copper wires, and and you have very, very fast connection.
You can't interfere.
And you can interfere. Exactly.
I mean, it's difficult. It's more difficult to interfere with. You can't do it electronically. It's impervious to the electronic.
You cannot use the electromagnetic field or anything like that, like the copper. It's light. It's light emitting. So either you cut it in the middle, or it will just keep going and going and going and going.
Correct.
Like Duracell.
Yeah.
It was exactly what I was thinking. That's very impressive. That's very impressive stuff. I saw also the Andre the other. I think it was yesterday. He put this super American tank. It's not a tank. It's a wheel mechanized vehicle, and it's fully protected with the electronic warfare, counter warfare, and just got droned. Boom.
Yeah. But there was one sent there to defeat the drones, and the drone defeated it.
Oh dear Lord. So just to finalize, Larry, Zelensky has been to the United States. He's on tour again, on stand-up tour. He's been to the United States and Europe, and looks like doors are shutting. My impression is that the United States just say, okay, all right, Europe, deal with that. And Europe's not that willing to deal with that.
Yeah. No, I think your analogy of a pop group musical tour is probably apt. In this case, Zelensky, he showed up to play concerts in Washington, D.C., and Rome, and Paris, and in Berlin, and London, and, couldn't sell any tickets. Nobody showed up. Hell, he couldn't even get somebody to throw a beer bottle at him, He went home empty-handed.
Yeah, he should have stayed playing piano with his penis.
Yeah, that's he didn't even get any offers for a look. So now it just Schultz of Germany has gone. I guess that this is while Zelensky was in Berlin. They were doing a press conference. Germany, oh yeah, we're with you all the way, but the reality is they're not sending them any money, and they're saying, hey, they sound like the Beatles. We give you all we got to give, but they ain't got nothing left in the cupboard, baby.
Yeah, empty. I have another analogy. If you remember, the sanitary emergency we have to call it like that in YouTube, the one from 2020, and everybody got packed with toilet paper, and you wanted more toilet paper, and you couldn't get anywhere. I think that's more or less what Ukraine is getting now, because it's getting a lot of euros, a lot of dollars. Not a lot, but a couple of euros, a couple of dollars. But there's no toilet paper to buy on the shelves.
Yeah,
what is this money for?
Well, even let's say in an ideal world, there was actually money and weapons sent to them. Who's going to use them? They have a manpower shortage. What's really disgusting is reports are out today that the West, particularly Washington politicians, both Republicans and Democrats, are pressing the Ukrainians. You got to start drafting those 18-year-olds. Up to this point, they've limited to 25-year-olds. Yeah, go ahead, kill off your next generation. Kill them off. Because I've used, for the pro-abortion crowd, I've tried to use the reverse logic. Because I think a great advertisement would be to have a guy dressed up like the head of the Ku Klux Klan, and he comes out, he goes, I just want you to know I am so in favor of abortion, because these abortions are these black people, which means there are fewer black babies being born. I think that's great. So the 84 never run that. I probably could get it on BitChute or Rumble to do it, because it's a way to use both comedy, irony, satire to make the point that you're talking about killing off a certain class of people. And now here, with respect to Ukraine, the United States, hey, go kill more of your children. You're 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old, 22. Kill them. Die. For what? To what purpose? There comes a time when there has to be that intervention to say this violence has got to stop, because what the West will pretend it's an innocent party in this, and that this is all about Russia's bad behavior, and it's not. But tell them otherwise.
Yeah, that is exactly that, Larry.